And I think we finally saw the end of Sheffield United with their 4-1 defeat at Burnley. Geoff, I'm sort of intrigued when you go to somebody to talk after the game, like somebody like Chris Wilder, and trying to find new things to say to a manager who's lost 23 of his 33 and only won 3. That you must feel like, I can't smash this bloke over the hammer again. It's cruel.
It is cruel, but football's cruel, and it's part of the job. Chris actually would probably be one of the easiest to talk to in that scenario, because he's a realist and he's very, very honest. He's pretty much said where the club are, what stage they're at, and what this season is. He's pretty much accepted they're down. He knows that with what they've got. It's in those scenarios. I always say to you, it's important about respecting the guy. He didn't send them out to get battered yesterday. No, it happened. Of course, the buck stops with him, but also the players as well. What unfolded, and it's not just in that 90 minutes. It's across the season. Those dreadful statistics that he regurgitated. That's not all entirely down to him, obviously. But at the same time, he's got to speak on behalf of the club, and the fans will want to know what he's got to say as well. Of course, it's easy when you're interviewing a manager who's just wants to know by that amount. Fantastic, that's a piece of cake. But part of the job.
Well, Paul Heckingbottom wasn't doing a terrible job, and I think there was a lot of sympathy from him when he lost his job and came in. You knew what he was getting, so what was the point of changing the manager? But Sheffield United was so obviously light in their squad, it was an impossibility almost to keep them up.
Wilder didn't make that decision, did he? So when I say he knew what he was getting when he came in.
From the owner's point of view, I don't know why they didn't just stick with what they had.
Well, the Sheffield United owners and what's happened there, that's a whole different story, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Meanwhile, at Luton, we think they're doing pretty well, even though they lost. They got hammered by Brentford yesterday, and Brentford, you would think now will survive, much to the relief of Natalie Sawyer. But Luton, I was a bit surprised by that result because they've shown lots of spirit recently.
They're missing a lot of players, Shaun. Yeah. I know everybody is, but they have got, we know about their budget as well. Yeah. And unfortunately, it was a day where Luton were as bad and Brentford were good. I think Rob Edwards said that afterwards as well. I mean, the crowd stayed right with them right to the end. They haven't given up. I don't think it's done and done. Yeah, I don't think it's done and dusted by any. There's still.
Well, Burnley particularly played well. I know it was only Sheffield United, but they knocked it around nicely, which Vincent wants to keep doing, and they're certainly fighting.
If Burnley stay up, what do you think those naysayers that said to Vincent Kompany, including yourself,
you probably
no?
Oh, you thought they'd stay up?
No,
well, you're a naysayer.
No, I'm talking about the style of football.
Yeah.
He believes. You said it last time we were on together.
I think it was a gamble. Yeah. I think it's a gamble too.
You were basically saying in your inimitable fashion, "Come on, lad, you've got to hoof it every now and again."
Now and again.
So if they were to stay up, there's his answer, isn't it?
Yeah, even Barcelona were hoofing it at the end of June. They were. Word on Arsenal, who apparently were also not happy about kick-off times because Mikel Arteta got behind Pep in that argument. But they did beat Wolves 2-0. Wolves lacking players, as we know. But again, it was a tight turnaround for Arsenal, but a good recovery from what must have been a shattering blow for them. I know it was shattering for Man City, but particularly shattering for Arsenal, who you would say were more likely to beat Bayern Munich than maybe Man City were for Arsenal Madrid.
Oh, don't forget as well, they got beaten by Villa at the start. It would have been if 3 losses in the week would have absolutely taken all of the air out of the balloon, wouldn't it? So, hugely important win for Arsenal yesterday. They had to turn up. They showed some character, some fire in their belly, and they went there and they were deserved winners on the day. I mean, keeper makes a great save earlier on. That could have made things different. But massive win for Arsenal to go back at the top of the table.
What did you make of how they played against Bayern Munich? People think they're a little bit timid, didn't really push it. I mean, Bayern are one of those teams, aren't they, where even though it's going a bit wrong domestically, they have enough players where you think if that individual turns it on, they can probably beat anybody.
Well, I don't think Thomas Tuchel has had enough credit for what he's done in the Champions League this season, given that they've been absolutely trounced in and the thought of them not winning a trophy for the first time, is it 12, 13 seasons? To get 2 performances of that nature against, title race contenders, serious contenders in Arsenal. Yeah. He's done a great job.
Great Tuchel. I love him. I don't know why people sack him. I think it's hugely entertaining.
Sure,
he's obviously a good coach, though. I mean, I've never seen him coach a session apart from standing on the touchline occasionally when you get 15 minutes in the Champions League. But he's hugely respected everywhere, yet seems to get into an altercation with the board and loses his job. And he's lost this job and he might win the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, I just find it bonkers as well. And it's not the only place it's happened, to announce he's going at the end of the season, but he's still in charge. And that undermines him. So season even more so to get those performances. Fantastic. Arsenal, to your point, they've just come up short, haven't they? They've just come up short.
Yeah, but it's not over in the title race, is it?
Not at all. I'm talking about the Champions League.
Oh yeah, in the Champions League.
No,
yeah.
it's not over. It's not over in the title race by virtue of them being top of the table
but we
right
still
now.
Don't know who you support. You're very enthusiastic for Arsenal there, Geoff. Maybe you're a closet gooner.
I'm enthusiastic about all clubs. I think you'll
Text
find.
in, is Geoff a closet gooner? Anyway, it's finally poised in the Championship with the race for promotion and the relegation battle. We'll look at that next. And the fact Portsmouth are the League One champions. You're listening to the Sunday edition on talkSPORT.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.